Welcome to documentation. Before we dive into the wonderful world of documentation, I want to make sure you understand the process. You are documenting a situation by completing an online information report. These reports provide information to both the residence director and the dean of students. As part of your job, you will fill out information reports for situations that you observe or discover, as well as situations you try to resolve by confronting students. Common situations involve alcohol violations and hall damage. Keep in mind that information reports may not always involve policy violations. You may also complete reports involving physical and mental health issues of a resident. After you complete the information report, the residence director of the students involved will follow up with those individuals. Due to privacy rules, you may not be informed of the results. Keep in mind that information reports are very important. They may become part of a student's permanent university record. Therefore, facts which report actions are the only things that you should include in your report. Remember, opinions are easily disputed and are not welcome in your information reports. Now I want to introduce you to two first-year resident assistants and their approaches to information reports. Clark Kent, our model RA, has it all together, but Alex Luther, he needs a little work.
All right, next we're going to be talking about what's needed in the information report, as well as what's unnecessary. First off, the information report is an overview of the incident. This is not a place for a step-by-step description of exactly what happened. Just state the overall sequence of events. Next, we need the names of all of the students involved, including yourself, both in the document as well as the email address bars before writing the document on the IR website. We also need the location, time, and date where everything happened. This should also be in the location, time, and date bar above the IR in the IR website, as well as within the document itself. What's unnecessary? Personal opinions are unnecessary. Quotes, for the most part, unless they are specific quotes that will help us through the process, are unnecessary. Your thoughts about what might have been going on, and other background stories. If we look to our model FYRA, Clark Kent, what he does in an IR is writes the overview of the description and the general events. He includes all the names involved, provides background information of the location, date, and time, and offers facts regarding what he has seen. He also provides important quotes in a follow-up email to the RD. The not-so-model FYRA, Alex Luther, gives a blow-by-blow account with all the juicy details. He only names the bad guys. He looks at the background story, and including a history of the students, negative interactions with other staff, and offers opinions about what was probably taking place. He also uses quotes in his IR to make everyone in the room look bad.
All right, so in order to effectively complete an IR, you're going to have to go through the official aspects of the Office of Residential Life's process. So what you're going to do is include an IWU email address for every student in the room, regardless of if they were a part of the incident or not. We want to know who was there, who saw it, for follow-up purposes. We also need that important date, time. The hall is always nice, as well as which room. You know, there's lots of Janes all throughout the building. We want to know which Jane we're talking about there. Who else did you talk to? Was there an RA involved? Did you have to call security, the primary, Bloomington Police, that kind of thing? And then the all-important incident description. We want that detailed account that was just described above. You're also going to have a place to mark if alcohol was present. Was the event registered, meaning could you tell that this was a particular group of students, maybe from a student organization or from a Greek club? And then mark that organizational affiliation if you know it, as well as the amount and type of alcohol. And that does make a difference because a 21-year-old, as you know, can have beer, but if they have hard alcohols, that's not appropriate regardless. As well as total of students involved. And if you use the link here, that'll take you right to the website so you can see our official IR. And we go back to our model and not so model RAs for some ideas about what you should and shouldn't do, or what your IR should or shouldn't look like. In the first example, you want to make sure that you're writing in the third person. This isn't a good time to do I statements. I thought is great for you, but when a police officer is reading through it, I isn't so important. I'm sorry about that. We want you to state who you are and whether or not you have an important role in this incident report. You want to be clear and concise and make sure to include all relevant information. You also want to spell check. The third note, there were 2 empty alcohol bottles in plain sight, can be very different if you're not checking both the spelling as well as the content. There were 2 empty alcohol bottles in plain sight. Doesn't look so well when we're trying to talk to the Dean of Students office. And then also make sure that once you've used the full name plus titles, then you can go ahead and use last name only. So the next time you say your name, Kent is great. We still don't want the I or whatnot. If you do have personal opinions, your RD will want it, but you'll want to send that information outside of the IR. So a follow-up email is the best place to provide some interesting examples. So while Alex's note that he knew they were drunk because they were loud and obnoxious might be helpful to the RD, it's definitely not what you want to provide in your documentation. All right, so that's kind of a quick overview of how to effectively communicate the events of an incident. And now we're going to go ahead and go through some slides of mock situations. So we have one example of a situation, and then you'll also have some opportunities during our behind closed doors and training. And after that, we also have a information report that you can fill out. It's a Google document. We only want you to use this for training purposes. And please don't use it during the school year because no one will be checking during the school year. And remember what we just discussed. You want to make sure that you're writing in third person, you're leaving personal quotes out, you're providing an overview of the incident, and you're giving us all the people who were involved. All right, so for a little background on our incident, RAs Kim and Courtney walk into a Dodge suite on Sunday.
It smells like weed in here. It seriously smells like it. Don't you think? I don't know. Who's here? Like the door's open? Hello? Is anyone there? No one's here. Here, take me. Sit. I'm gonna go see what's going on. Disgusting. Macy, go with your Auntie Kimmy. I don't live like this with people all in my space. Scott, were your friends here smoking weed?
What? Oh.
It reeks of weed in here. Who was here? Hello? There's like beers everywhere. This is ridiculous. Get up.
I don't give a about prices.
Hey, psycho. You're the psycho. okay? Let's just get out of here. Okay.
All right. Well, I hope you were able to figure out what was going on in that situation. The next thing for you to do is to go ahead and practice. And you're just going to use this link here. There should also be one located at the bottom of the page that you use to get to this presentation to go ahead and check out that IR form. When you use the link, this is what the training document will look like. Notice that it does say this form should not be used during the academic year, and it has a link there for the actual document. But this gives you the same basic layout as what an IR would look like on the official ORL web page. Rather than using the students' addresses, just place your own so we know who you are. And when you used it, put the date and time of today. You're going to go ahead and use your fall hall and room. And then if there was anybody you would have contacted for this situation or during behind closed doors, if there was someone that you did bring in, then to mark that down. Give us a incident description. If you noticed any alcohol, you can let that there. And then total students involved. And then we also have a fun check your work. And this is the place where we're hoping this is helpful for people both during training and throughout the school year. If you're writing information reports, this will give you a quick idea as to what we're looking for. So make sure that you did use the full name of every person that you wrote about and titles when it was important or when it was appropriate. That you were not using pronouns, you only used last names to talk about people, you checked your spelling and content, and you checked for unnecessary commentary. And then if you have any thoughts or comments about our session or about the documentation process, let us know. This is going to be forwarded on to your fall RD so that they can work with you. So thanks for listening, and hope you are ready to document and have some fun this fall.